Red Knights. This is experiment number 1 of the BioBox project. And what you're going to be doing with this investigation is we're going to be studying these seeds that are in this container, this little plastic bag. And remember at the beginning I said, excuse me, you're going to need to be able to tell the difference between the fertilizer pellets and the seeds. So let's take a look at the difference here. So these are all radish seeds. You're going to need 6 of those for this investigation. And then hopefully you can tell the difference between the fertilizer pellets and the radish seeds. So there are 4 fertilizer pellets. I'm going to pick those up and put those back in the bag. I don't need those until investigation 3. And then I'm going to pick out what I think are 6 pretty good looking seeds. Those are 6 pretty good looking seeds right there. We're going to need 6 seeds for experiment number 1. So I'll set those aside. Don't need those anymore. So you're going to need a pencil. You're going to need the filter paper. You're going to need the petri dish. You're going to need this. Okay, this piece of acetate, this piece of plastic, it has grids on it that are 1 millimeter in length. You're going to need some water. And you're going to need the dropper pipette. And you're going to need some scissors. All right, so those things. All right, so experiment 1, let's talk about it. You have the top and the bottom. The top fits over the bottom, okay, of the petri dish. Now, the petri dish, this needs to fit inside of that. And you can see that this one's it's just a little bit too big. So I'm gonna trim that up and make it fit inside there. It has to be pretty tight, but it can't be sloppy, okay? So I'm gonna pause. Now I'm gonna cut it. Hey, I decided to show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm taking a Sharpie and I'm gonna trace the bottom. I'm tracing the bottom on that piece of plastic because the bottom fits inside of there. That's gonna be the right size, all right? All right, so I traced around there. Now I'm gonna cut it. So I've got this little scrap left over. Some of yours might already be cut so that they fit. And so you can see how it fits in there nicely. That's what you want to do, okay? Now the next thing is you got to do the same thing with the filter paper. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with that. And you notice, look at, I'm going off to the edge. See what I'm doing? I'm not going in the middle. And the reason is you might use this filter paper for experiment 2. So I'm going to trace it with a Sharpie or a pencil or something. I would recommend you not use a pen, but use a Sharpie or a pencil, because the pen, if it gets wet, might leach. So I'm going to cut this now. All right, so I've cut this. I'm going to save this scrap for experiment 2, and I'll talk about that in a little while, so save that. And then if I did it right, this should fit in there. See that? See how I did that? All right? Now, before we get everything wet, I'm going to write my name on it. So, and I'm doing it in pencil. Mr. Peterson. And the date is going to be April, whatever it is that you start this. I'm going to say 7, all right? And that's 2020, okay? Now I'm going to put it back inside there. Everybody with me? Got that? Now, when we get this wet, and that's gonna be the next thing you do, get that piece of paper out of the way. There are my seeds right there on the BioBox Project logo. I'm gonna take some water. I'm gonna soak this down. And you can see right now, you can see through it, right? Everybody with me on that? You can see through that. You can see the grid lines. And that's gonna be important for you to measure some things. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these seeds and I'm gonna place them on that line, on the top of the grid line. And I have 6 of them here. You might fit 5. I'm just gonna use 6, maybe. Come on. Okay. Yeah, roll that one over. Come on. You might have to use a pencil to kind of move them around a little bit. Come on, get over there. Come on, this last one, just slide on over there. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna put the lid on it. I'm just gonna let it sit there for a minute. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Stay. Now we're gonna need the film canister. And this is gonna act as something to lean that up against, because we're gonna eventually put this into the reservoir. Okay, so I'm gonna put the film canister in there, and using my pipette or however you wanna do it, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in there because I don't want it to float. Okay, I don't need the lid on this, that's okay. So I'm gonna fill it up, and this one I filled it up just below where the filters are, okay? And I'm just gonna pour some water in there. I need about that much water. I need just like a finger. If I hold my finger down there, I just wanna have some water in the bottom of it, like about 1/2 inch. Like that's probably about enough, okay? It's about the width of my pencil, the width of your finger, or something like that. All right, now if I remember doing this correctly, all right, so you can see that there's some water. It might drip out, that's fine. And I'm just gonna carefully put this down in there. All right, sweet. Okay, see how that's working? Now there should be some water that leaks into the bottom, and that water is gonna wick up and help keep those seeds moisturized. I'll show you a shot from the side here in just a second. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah. Oh, zoom. We'll zoom down here. Whoa, whoa. Get back here. See how that is? All right. So I got about a finger's width worth of water in there, and the seeds are gonna be right there. Now, I guarantee if you come back in an hour or so, some of those seeds might roll down the way. If that's the case, and you gotta put them back up on the line. And then you're gonna take some measurements as time goes by. So read the directions for that. You might have to refill the reservoir, add a little bit of water to that. So that's experiment number 1.